Hello again. I thought I would look today at another little bit of the colonising of British history, which is proceeding apace, as many people have observed. This time I'm looking at the idea that Ireland and Scotland, until the 16th century, were inhabited by black people, and that white historians have frantically tried to cover up this embarrassing fact. The idea was originally a production of the Black Hebrews, but it has spread out into the black community generally and is now believed by quite a few uneducated people. A word or two about the Black Hebrews might help to understand this. The Black Hebrews are African Americans who got it into their heads that they alone are the true Jews and that they have a right to go to live in Israel. Many of these people are violently anti-Semitic and anti-white. In the 1970s, quite a few began travelling to Israel and demanding to live there permanently. The Israelis were not wildly keen on the idea, but a large number were allowed to settle in the Negev down near Dimona, where the Israeli nuclear reactor is. They are one of two black communities in Israel, the others being the Ethiopian Falashas. It makes me laugh actually when I see people here calling for Israel to open its borders. They're often shipping in black people and Indians. At the moment, it's plane loads of people from India who are being welcomed into the country as settlers, but you won't be reading about this in the newspapers of Europe or America. Anyway, the Black Hebrews hold views similar in some ways to the British Israelites about whom I spoke a couple of days ago. I provide a link in the description to this video to something from a Zimbabwean online magazine which sets out perfectly the whole idea about the black Irish people and black Scots people. Readers might care to click on that link and then read this. The writer of this explains the whole idea better than I probably could. The basic idea is that the tribe of Judah was exiled to Africa, and that when the people from West Africa were taken as slaves to the Americas, this was just another part of the exile, that is to say, the exile from Jerusalem. They think that African Americans should go to Israel. They also hold a very complex set of beliefs about Shakespeare being black, and also that after the Moors and Arabs settled in Spain after it was invaded, a lot of them moved up then into Ireland and Scotland, and that these people weren't just Arabs or Berbers, that a lot of them were sub-Saharan Africans, and that they turned Ireland and Scotland essentially into black countries with black monarchs. The idea is also that the kings of Scotland were black, and that the white European royal families felt threatened by them, and so encouraged their princesses to marry the black kings of Scotland in order to make them less black by diluting the blackness as the children were born. Mary Queen of Scots was accordingly half black, but her husband Darnley was completely black. This meant, of course, that James I, their son, was also entirely black, and Charles I and his son Charles II were both mixed race. Pictures showing the true colours of these monarchs have been destroyed and replaced with forgeries showing them as white. This is part of the white supremacist agenda. As I say, these nutty ideas have escaped from the Black Hebrews and are now being adopted by a lot of ordinary black people, which goes some way to explain things like the Black Queen Charlotte in the Netflix series Bridgerton, which some people might have watched. Because left-wing whites are often ashamed of the colour of their skin, they go along with this madness and even encourage it by producing museum exhibits of the kind about which I talked yesterday. This is all going to get a lot worse yet, because lunacy like this is spreading like a virus.